So, okay, it's not Saturday, it's Sunday, so this chapter's a day late. My bad. Um, Now I've had a lot on my mind recently. Shit. A lot on my mind recently. But we're on chapter 11 of Reaper Adventures Protection, which is obviously book number 4. Book number 4, woo! Don't bring your people kids. Don't bring your people kids. It's not people kid friendly. It's really not kid friendly. Sometimes, depending on the adult, it's not adult friendly either, but that depends on the adult, but it's certainly not kid friendly. So don't bring your people kids. It's for mature audiences only. There's no sex scenes or curse words that are written down. I do say curse words, so fuck you all. But there is, other than the no sex scenes and no curse words that are written, there is a fight scene between the Reapers and the first 3 horsemen of the apocalypse, which we've passed. We've passed the scene as well as mention of abduction. I do believe we passed the mention of torture, and later on there might be one or more scenes of torture. There is mentions of alcoholism, and I know I'm missing quite a few other things that you want to watch out for. So, moving on, we're on chapter 11. Chapter 11, woo! Chapter 11. They had to return to Jeromson. Trinityn was where they were searching for the Orange Demon, who was hiding the horrendous orange Yes, he would be hiding, because they haven't gone clothing shopping for him yet. Okay. So, who was hiding the horrendous orange clothing? The search for everyone else had shifted focus from Jeromson to the surrounding towns of Bearkill, Chorusville, and Trinityn as well. Jeromson, as unsafe as it was their safest option. All of them knew that there was nowhere safe to hide. Because, you feel that needs tightening around right now. Moving on. Payne's attitude had changed. He had been considering their options, knowing there was no safe hiding place, and had decided on a course of action last night. Hiding was still essential, but he was growing tired of running. He had told the odd assortment of allies this, and they all agreed. It was time to make a stand. There was only one problem, though. When they had made a stand, when they made a stand, their presence would be revealed, and the essential hiding aspect would be null and void. I feel like adding no shit Sherlock there. So, continuing. None of them knew any seals to hide, either, or even remain hidden for that matter. They only concealed their presence and spiritual energy to the point of being hidden. When revealed, they would be found no matter how expertly they concealed their spiritual energy. Because that's a thing, when you reveal something, people tend to know what to look for. Moving on. Payne couldn't help but think of Nathaniel. He doubted Nathaniel would be willing to help everyone in this odd grove of escaped prisoners, because, yeah, all of them. Wow. Moving on. However, Nathaniel was the only option they might have to remain hidden. They all knew this. Payne had informed them of Nathaniel. However, finding Nathaniel was proving to be much more of a challenge than they had originally thought. Even with the 2 groups searching for him, Payne with the demon and the demon's second-in-command, and War of Famine and Pestilence in the other group, Nathaniel was proving to be impossible to find. I guess he doesn't want to be found, the demon said after they couldn't find Nathaniel. War, Famine, Pestilence, the demon's second-in-command, the demon and Payne had regrouped and decided to attempt to find shelter. One that would never be searched. Or one that wouldn't be searched right away. The historical church. No one resides there. the demon commented with a shrug. I thought you couldn't enter church grounds, Payne stated with confusion. There's loopholes to every rule. You just have to find them, the demon informed Payne. His second-in-command nodded with confirmation. Payne couldn't help but be curious. So if no one is there, you can enter a church? Payne inquired. We can enter any church, so long as there's enough people who do doubt or don't believe the existence of what they're supposedly worshipping, the demon responded. Payne blinked and then realized that any church held the mentioned individuals. Payne himself had been one of them, until recently. That isn't very comforting, Payne mumbled to himself. You asked, the demon pointed out. Payne couldn't argue with that statement. He had asked, after all. The historical church is this way, Payne said, and then headed in the direction of the historical church. That's probably a lot of historical church sentences in there, I do think. Oh, wow, this is a short chapter considering. Moving on. Headed in the direction of the historical church. Ooh. Fuck you, ads. I hate you, ads. The sun was setting when they reached it, and Payne began to pick the lock. The demon was tempted to break the lock, just as Payne succeeded in his task. So now we know that Payne knows how to pick locks. That's handy. Moving on. Payne opened the doors, and War, Famine, Pestilence, the demon, and his second-in-command entered the now open historical church. Payne glanced around the outside grounds before closing the doors. This place is old, the demon mumbled, wiping some dust off of one of the pews. He frowned slightly and wiped the layer of dust on the pants he was wearing. I would say it's like hell, but it's not. The demon's second-in-command sighed. The only time I've known you to think of hell when you're not in hell is when you're hungry, the demon stated as he looked at his second-in-command. I was in Triniton's maximum security prison for the criminally insane. The souls there were corrupted beyond recognition. Plus, there were no virgins there, so no matter what there was, no actual flavor. There was no actual flavor to any of the horrid souls I ate. The demon's second-in-command told his commander. No virgins? The demon questioned with confusion, not understanding where that comment had come from. Virgins weren't that common, and pedophiles definitely had special tortures reserved for them. Most demons had lines they didn't cross. Destroying a child or a child's innocence was surprisingly the most common line that wasn't crossed. Trying to take another demon's property was another line that was barely crossed. When that line was crossed, it was either done so with caution or meant to be done for revenge. Either way, the consequences were enforced. It clicked for the demon then. You're a virgin? The demon asked Payne, looking at him with surprise. Payne's face instantly turned bright red, answering the demon's surprised inquiry. You are a virgin, the demon said. Can we talk about something else? Payne asked, knowing his face was a blazing red. Have you ever been interested in having sex with someone? The demon continued, disregarding Payne's question. Payne mumbled something incomprehensible, even to himself, feeling extremely awkward with the current topic of conversation. Why are we still talking about this? Payne countered. Male, female, both. The demon pressed. Everything sexually attractive or nothing sexually attractive? The demon continued. You're not giving up, are you? Payne sighed with slight exasperation. No, the demon replied. Payne studied the demon and wondered if he should answer the awkward line of questioning. If I don't know people that well, I'm not interested in them in a sexual manner, Payne reluctantly said. So if you have a deep personal connection with someone, you find them sexually attractive, the demon stated. Payne sighed with mild annoyance and nodded as a response. So how are you still a virgin? the demon inquired. The feelings weren't returned. I'm not forcing myself on anyone who isn't interested in me in that way, Pain replied. The demon was silent, mentally admitting that thought process was fair. Can we talk about something else now? Pain asked. About what? The demon questioned. Maybe we can find some clothes for your second in command. Orange isn't his color, Pain stated. He has a point. The second in command agreed. You can't buy clothing for him? The demon asked. My wallet got melted, Pain reminded the demon. Right. The demon mumbled as Roar shrugged, unconcerned by the fact Pain's wallet had become melted in his possession. He hadn't said how, and Pain suspected he would never tell anyone. So Pain decided that it was better to not press a topic of conversation that would more than likely go nowhere. I guess searching for clothes is required, the demon said, though he safely assumed that there would be nothing or priest's robes. The demon and his second in command began searching. War, famine, and pestilence started their search, and Pain was left alone to look. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. Continuing. With the eyebrow waggle. I don't know why, but we're going to continue. Why are you protecting the Nephilim, my prince? The demon's second in command asked his prince when they were alone. Because the Nephilim protects all of us to the best of his knowledge. The favor is an ongoing repayment, the demonic prince answered. His second in command was silent as he studied his prince. Are you becoming what you were before being unjustly cast down? The second in command inquired. You despise being undead just as much as I do, Azarius. Don't try to deny that simple fact. The demonic prince reminded his second in command, finding the only intact clothing within the dusty walls of the historical church. It was priest's robes, but it would have to do. He handed them to his second in command. Hurt the Nephilim in a permanent manner that results in missing limbs, organs, or maiming, or attempt to devour the soul of the Nephilim, and I will repay my irritating, endless favor. The demonic prince warned, his silver eyes gleaming with sadistic glee and anticipation. Keep in mind, I made you scream, whimper, and writhe on the racks for years. I can do that again. I know your weak spots, and I've always been a bit of an artist with torturing souls or demons, the demonic prince stated with a bone-chilling chuckle. Moving on. The second in command nodded to let his prince know he understood and took the priest robes. His prince had let him know that he was not becoming angelic in nature again. No matter how stubborn that sliver of his prince's angelic soul was, his prince was, and still remained, demonic in nature. And that is the end of chapter 11. Like I said, it was a short chapter, considering the other previous chapters. Hopefully Saturday, we will try for Saturday. If not, it will be Sunday. But hopefully on Saturday, we'll be going for chapter 12. Because we just finished chapter 11. Woot woot! Chapter 11 is done. Chapter 12 next week. And, caffeine. I'm trying not to chug this, but damn, I'm thirsty. Anyway, I have some accounts if any of you are all interested. I have a Wattpad account, which is at Tempesta771. A TikTok account, which I am going to try to find a way to make it more engaging when I promote my story series. But this one is being promoted first. Anyway, my TikTok account is at AirjunCraven2. I have an Instagram, which I have to upload a lot of photos to, which is under the name Tempest Braveheart. I have a Facebook, which is under the name Airjun Craven. And I have a Snapchat, which is also under the name Airjun Craven, but there are no uppercases or spaces in my Snapchat, and we're all watching my YouTube, which is under the name Tempesta Braveheart. And I will try for chapter 12 on Saturday instead of Sunday. So, woohoo! More caffeine. Oh my god, that's so delicious. Anyway, peace out, Girl Scouts, and enjoy the mental hilarity.